Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf, guys. Another community announcement to be careful. Make sure you know where these emails are coming from. This has to do with the Sum Wallet specifically. XRP community, please be careful of scammers pretending to be Sum Wallet. Retweet and spread awareness to help others. So if you guys are getting notices like this or emails or being tagged in tweets like this one is from the official account of the Sum Wallet at Sum Wallet here on Twitter. Scam, stay vigilant. Please report this guy here, Sum Wallet 1. This account here is the one that is spreading the misinformation, and that is trying to fish people into giving them their personal information. We're working on in-app support, so you can always be certain you're talking to the real team. So here's just an example of one of these scam tweets here from at Sum Wallet 1. Kindly direct your issues and complaints to support for all clarifications and rectifications at, and then they put out a private message box here so you guys can send them your private information. Don't fall for it, guys. I just wanted to also bring this to the XRP community's attention in case you are using the Sum Wallet. So wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf, and obviously we want to help Sum Wallet in any way we can. So guys, at Sum Wallet 1, report all scammers on Twitter. I'm going to do that after I record this. Here's another one from XRP Captain 590 here with regards to the Bank of England. Now this was a tweet. Victoria Cleland talks about how central banks and the private sector will work together to make international payments better and easier for everyone. And so this was just published today. A lot of discussion about cross-border payments and how new technologies are essentially going to be changing how we make payments in the future. So just going to read you guys a little bit of this. Over the past few decades, the growth in the international mobility of goods, services, capital, and people has increased the economic importance of cross-border payments. So I want you guys to just pay attention to what is being said here first. Then I'm going to give you guys my 2 cents about this. Cross-border payments are significant in terms of both their value and volume, and expected to total an astonishing $250 trillion by 2027. To give an idea of the relative significance compared to domestic payments, and then it just gives some figures there. Basically big figures, and it's not just wholesale markets and large corporates that would benefit from more efficient cross-border payments, essentially suggesting everybody is going to benefit from this, like remittances in particular play a vital role in low and middle income economies. Flows of remittances to some countries are greater than 30% of their GDP, and in 2020 remittance flows to LMICs reached $540 billion, which was significantly more than foreign direct investment flows of $259 billion. Despite their importance, many cross-border payments continue to suffer from long-standing challenges, and this is always the case, guys: high costs, low speeds, and limited access, and insufficient transparency. So remember that these challenges can particularly impact remittances. As a stylized fact, it can, in certain solutions, still take as long as 10 days to transfer money from one country to another, and can cost up to 10% of the transfer's value. The frictions underlying cross-border payments have been around for many years. These frictions are multidimensional, as Ripple has also always suggested. Down here, they're saying they're making cross-border payments a priority, and in 2020, it asked the Financial Stability Board, or the FSB, coordinating with the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures and other standard-setting bodies to develop a roadmap to enhance cross-border payments. The first step was an FSB report assessing the existing arrangements, frictions, and challenges. And then down here, they give some bullet points, guys, to commit to a joint public and private sector vision to enhance cross-border payments. Interesting to note, to coordinate on regulatory, supervisory, and oversight frameworks to improve existing payment infrastructures and arrangements to support the requirements of the cross-border payment market, and to increase data quality and straight-through processing by enhancing data and market practices. And then they go on to CBDC. So of course, first we have to acknowledge the high costs, low speed, limited access, and insufficient transparencies. Well, of course, we know RippleNet and XRP certainly solve for all of that. They discuss overall just how important cross-border payments are. And so what they are committing to do is for the public and private sector to join together, guys. RippleNet, central banks, they're already in the process of doing this. We know Ripple has already started to create private ledgers for central banks in order to facilitate these types of payments. They want to improve existing payment infrastructures as well, something that, RippleNet you can plug into because of the interoperability. And so this is just part of this entire speech here, coming from Victoria Cleland from the Bank of England, guys, published just today. We also have to remember that the Bank of England did conduct a Ripple proof of concept back in 2017, and some are suggesting they are already running on Ripple. I don't know if they are currently using XRP or not. However, they are favorable to the technology. They were one of the first central banks to have jumped on board to RippleNet, and I do believe that their equivalent of the, I think it was the CFTC, their equivalent, did mention in a report that XRP was indeed deemed a currency, guys, not a security in England. So, great updates here, fresh off the press, November 22nd, from the Bank of England and Victoria Cleland. Wanted to thank XRP Captain 590 for pointing us to that. We also have some new developments on the XRPL. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP Ledger activated the negative UNL amendment, which provides additional safety when validators are offline for any reason. So this is just an announcement from the XRP Ledger Foundation. The activation of the negative UNL amendment is an important event for the XRPL. While we continue to expect high performance levels from validators on our UNL, this provides additional safety when validators are offline for any reason. So just another amendment on the XRPL, updating that, keeping it more robust, of course, proofing it for future ready services and demand. And it just reminded me of this, guys, from back in February. I don't know if you remember this. This is old news now. From February 2021 from Tower Labs, as part of our commitment to ensure the long-term health and stability of the XRP ledger, Tower Labs is now operating a validator from Pionen White Mountains, a former nuclear bunker 30 meters beneath the streets of Stockholm, Sweden. So they are actually running a validator in a nuclear bunker to make sure that it is protected from anything possible that could happen, a natural disaster, a war, or whatever. Our validator runs on a bare metal server featuring a 3.4 gigahertz hexa-core CPU, blah, 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 all this stuff. Nevertheless, here it is, guys, state-of-the-art facility there under the streets of Sweden, and wow, check that out. So these guys here, Toa Labs, running a validator in a nuclear bunker. Obviously, another measure one could take to protect the XRPL so that it continues to work in any situation, no matter what happens. So great news here from XRP Crypto Wolf. Gonna keep moving. This from the Wrath of Kahneman. He's just bringing up this interesting note. B2C2, acquired by Ripple user HBI Holdings, has just made the first NDX, an FX futures hedge, with Bitcoin. So with BTC, cool. Used for currencies that aren't allowed to be exchanged, it could create crypto exposure in places where it's not allowed. So like India, for example, China, and Brazil. And so here's the article from a couple of weeks ago now. But the interesting thing that Wrath of Kahneman points out, and I'll link this in the description if you guys want to read further, by the way. He says, so the possibility of hedging XRP emerges, tempting to connect to Ripple's announcement regarding Pipple, which I mentioned the other week as well, where they say no XRP will be held in the UAE, but that would be incorrect. That was about ODL. This is about big OTC desks hedging. And so the SBI report is also linked here in this tweet thread. I'll just bring it up for you guys, and you can translate that into English if you want. Nevertheless, it is going to give more companies exposure that may not have legal exposure to cryptocurrencies. So these guys have just made their first NDF FX futures hedge with Bitcoin. So that's available. Interesting, new ways to see XRP utility grow further and further, right? Interoperability. We haven't talked about that too much recently, but interoperability is really what's going to make XRP and the XRPL very valuable in the future. CBDC is just one part of this, but there's all the DeFi, there's so much more, NFTs, so much now is being developed on the XRPL, and so much utility, so much application. I'm excited to see what the future is going to hold. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman just for bringing up this point. I want to keep going, guys, because Anders L. brought this interesting point up. Now, this is a document just released by the World Economic Forum. It is worth mentioning that the WEF mentions this, even though the Ripple lawsuit is still ongoing. And so he retweets out Aleem Jamal's tweet here. So check this out, guys. A World Economic Forum document from November 19th, so just from Friday, Digital Currency Governance Consortium White Paper Series, and I'll link this in the description. You can download the PDF there. I brought it up here, and if you guys go to page 31 here, they actually talk about XRP. It's still in the mix. Existing private sector blockchain-based digital assets could potentially assist in the facilitation of cross-border wholesale interbank CBDC payments and transactions. And examples include include the utility settlement coin, or USD, and XRP digital assets. Such assets may serve as a bridge currency in cross-border interbank payments. Before experimenting with such digital assets, policymakers should have a clear understanding of the value add they could provide from economic and technological perspectives, considering both pre-existing or alternative solutions and limitations or downsides. So boom goes the dynamite, guys. XRP listed in this World Economic Forum paper from just a few days ago. This is the most recent PDF report we have seen from the World Economic Forum, published just on Friday, still mentioning XRP despite the fact that Ripple and XRP are still in court with the SEC in the United States. Now, some people down here saying, of course, this is mentioned because the world will go on despite what the US is going to do. Anders L down here saying, by the way, if you want volume, then you would want XRP used as a bridge between wholesale CBDCs. Retail remittance is a good start, but taking over 100% of the retail remittance market only means about $2 billion per day, whereas I believe what runs through SWIFT daily is something like $5.1 billion. Anders L says, I mentioned this in a read between the lines kind of way, that they'll likely move forward with their plans without caring about the SEC lawsuit. And then some people down here saying, yeah, well, it's because the SEC is in the US and the World Economic Forum is global, yada, yada. Nevertheless, guys, it is still good. It still does show us where the world is at with regards to XRP. The fact that the World Economic Forum and the powers that be, despite how nefarious we may think they are, still want to utilize the chosen digital currency that we all hold, guys, by the way, to drive payments and anything of value through the XRPL. So great news there. Wanted to thank Anders L. Another one here, guys, from DJ Peter Vass, real quick, that has to do with the World Economic Forum as well. Just kind of sealing the deal. World Economic Forum releases findings of interoperability study on 3 CBDCs. Now, I'm not going to read this full thing, but they do talk a little bit about CBDCs. Down here, if the central bank decides to grant cross-border access to the CBDC and it wants to support interoperability, okay, note that they mentioned that, with foreign CBDCs, then it needs to create communication protocols and standards to enable domestic and foreign CBDCs to exchange information seamlessly. So they're already talking about interoperability, and I think they mentioned down here that there was a problem with China's CBDC, the fact that it was only able to be utilized through the one proprietary wallet. Other areas affected by interoperability include KYC and AML procedures, the role of intermediaries, and user privacy. The WEF also listed out universality, technical standards, and payment settlement as major requirements. The report then added, in terms of implementation technology, central bank digital currencies can make use of a combination of different technologies, such as traditionalized centralized databases and systems, shared databases, or distributed ledger technologies. In this context, achieving interoperability is complex given the different technology options being used. But here you have it, guys. They are saying we can utilize different methods in order to achieve interoperability. They mentioned specifically in this report distributed ledger technologies, such as Ripple's XRP. So I can see where this is going. The latest WEF paper, still touting the benefits of Ripple, XRP, cross-border payments. The future keeps moving ahead, and XRP and other crypto price appreciation is just around the corner. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.